let's show you what my degree consists of. Right. So this is just maths. So algebra 1, that's a big subject. Graphs and equations, quite the struggle. Functions, more confusing. Actually, it don't get better. Trigonometry, like quite a simple concept, but damn, it gets a bit complicated at times. Right. Coordinate geometry and vectors, differentiation methods and integration. It's just harder. Differentiation is taking, so like x squared, if you differentiated it, it would become 2x. Right. So the power becomes the multiplier, and the power goes down by 1 when you differentiate. When you integrate, you got to do it the other way around. And you got to get antiderivatives. Then you're introducing fractions and stuff. It's fun. Integration methods. Well, I haven't completed that. It's so hard. This is so difficult. Doesn't matter which way you look at it, it's incredibly difficult. You can understand it, but when you come to do it, it's incredibly hard. Matrices, well, if you know what matrices are, then they're just sets of numbers, and there's rules for how you combine them and everything, and I've had to learn that. I think I've got it. Matrices. Sequences and series. Well, they're a series of numbers that go off to infinity and things, and you have to be able to work out what the 800th number is, or something like that, from the theorem, from the formulas. It's quite hard in places, dead easy in others. And then finally, complex numbers. Right, and there's so much work, they cancelled Unit 11 and took it off the exam, because there's too much work there. So that's my remote exam. That starts on the 22nd. Going into my material, started from the beginning after I failed the exam, and then I just did every quiz. Yeah, there you go. Right, I haven't got that last one. It's quite hard, as you can see. You need to do all that to work it out. I know it. I know how to do it. As you can see, I can do things, but it takes a long time. I'm going to be honest. Differentiation. Yeah, I'll show you differentiation. When there's a graph produces a line, and you want to work out how much is under between, say, 2 and 4, it would be that section under that line, and because it's curved, it's impossible to, well, as you find out, it's not impossible, but it's very difficult to calculate the curved area. But that's what calculus does. It breaks this down into multiple parts, ting, 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 and this is how you do it. And I have to pass this exam, and if I don't, I do not become a scientist. And I'm going to become a scientist. So, oh, and then by the way, I'm going to save the world. That's why I'm doing it. I wouldn't do it for nothing. It's stupid, wouldn't it? A waste of time. Actually, it's not. It's not a waste of time. How about that? But anyway, right, one of them books, absolutely filled with maths all the way through. much I can do about it when it don't work. That's my literature that I can't read because of my glasses. Right. Another one of just absolutely chocker both sides of workings out. You know, and that's all just obviously like both sides. I'll set that side. You get the gist anyway, right? Everything's like just absolutely chock-a-block with maths. The books since I failed my exam, so I've done all the work, and then books, I just showed you, and then I failed the exam, and since then I've done I'm just going to get there real quick, but you get the gist anyway. Jesus, did more than I thought. Christ. I'm here. I'm not finished yet. There you go, I'm about here. I've just done some work. Right. Oh my god. I didn't realise I'd done so much work since my reset came up. Anyway. All that. And the truth is, I can't fucking remember it. I can't remember doing it. I can't remember. I can't remember what I need to remember. This is an algebra guide for the computer. Alright? Computer algebra. I mean, it's nuts, isn't it? A handbook. I'll just show you the handbook. Handbook. That's an interesting section for you, right there. Very much needed, this section. For trigonometry and other stuff. Then you got your derivatives. Right, so it kind of gives you standard derivatives here. So if you know, if it's sine of x, it becomes cos of x. You see that there anyway. And then integrating is the opposite, and it gives you some standard ones there. Right, so I can refer to this in my exam and look at different things like we were doing earlier. Whatever. Alright, just look at random pages. What we got there? Differentiation methods, there you go. Yeah, it's complex as fuck, I'm not even going into it. Sequences and series. And it gives you some of the fundamentals you need to work stuff out, right? But you've got to understand it. Oh look, I'll show you integration. Just some little pictures of... You're working out the area under that curve. Above the x. I think people think when you say you're doing maths that you're doing 9 times table or something. So you have to take that function at the top and then find the derivative of the function. So the derivative of the quotient, which is that 2x plus 1 divided by a logarithm of x, right? That function. That's a quotient, right? Divided. So the derivative of that is the bottom, the logarithm of x, times the derivative of the top, which would be 2, minus the top, which is 2x plus 1, times the derivative of the bottom, which is 1 over x. So then you've got something divided by something, and then you've got to do something over x underneath that. So it gets confusing. And then you've got to divide all that by the bottom, which is the logarithm of x squared. Right? And it's really hard. I find that hard. Oh yeah, there it is. It says confusion reigns. That is what happens when I can't work it out. My brain has got nowhere else to go. All it can do is start drawing. It's a right pain in the balls, honestly. It doesn't help. It's quite good going back through this again. Some of it's just mental. That's a question. One question. This page, right? It's gobbledygook, isn't it? I asked for this. I mean, I knew it was going to be hard. I knew it would be hard. But I wanted to do that. I wanted to see what I could get out of it by not stressing myself over it, but just trying hard. I failed. Excuse me. But I'm not going to fail because I'm going to pass it. Failure is just part of a journey, as I'll keep saying. Right, look at these. Basically hieroglyphics. Look at this. See, so the answer is 45,050. This is series and stuff. It's quite fun until you have to answer it. Until it's your go, and then it's fun until it's your go. And when it's an exam and that's the question, and you go, fuck, I gotta think now. It's so hard. Yeah, I've just seen something and it just makes you think, oh God, I'm not going to remember that on the day. Right, there's numbers where you've got to, like these, look. These imaginary numbers. Yes, imaginary numbers. You have to take the conjugate. Alright, and that means you take the bottom number and reverse the sign and then multiply both sides by, both top and bottom by that number. And I don't always see that. It's difficult. It's hard to see stuff without knowing exactly what you got to do. And then I start drawing because I can't work it out. It's almost always the same as soon as I get stuck. This is what I've done. So this is my reset. This is my next module, physics from classical to quantum. And alright, stage 1. That was my first module, questions in science. And then the maths, which I failed, and physics and space, which I passed. I got distinction for that. And then I've got the quantum world, electromagnetism, which I'm really looking forward to, mathematical methods and fluid mechanics, deterministic and stochastic dynamics, astrophysics, I've got to do that one, the relativistic universe. Probably going to be doing that, I think. I might do mathematical methods and fluid mechanics. So there's quite a way to go. That's my next one. Physics from classical to quantum. It's pretty much going to be what I've done, but more in depth. That's my degree.